Guys, it's final time. 2023 US Open, Coco Gauff versus Aryna Sabalenka. Will Sabalenka make it 100% success rate in Grand Slam finals, winning her second major of the year after winning the Australian Open earlier in this year? Or will Coco Gauff manage to make it second time lucky after losing to Iga Swiatek last year at Roland Garros? Will she be able to take that next step and potentially join that group of Swiatek, Sabalenka, Rybakina who have slams and are starting to really make they're really starting to get to the pinnacle of the sport and are at the pinnacle of the sport and starting to create their own little bracket potentially. We're going to find out. We're going to find out. Before we get into it, though, remember to that like button. Do subscribe if you're new and do leave a rating or review if you're listening on a podcast platform. We're going to break it down as we normally break it down. And it's quite an interesting matchup and I think a fantastic clash of styles. I'm very much looking forward to this final. I think it's a final that a lot of people would have loved to have seen. And I actually picked Coco Gauff to make the final and potentially go on to win the tournament as well in my bracket. So that doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to predict her to win at the end of this video. So just bear with me as I get through analysing it. Sabalenka, I thought she was going to lose to Ons Jabeur in the quarterfinals, but Jabeur didn't even get that far. And Sabalenka has been the most consistent performer on the WTA Tour this year and is rightfully now the number one as well. Coco Gauff has been the best player, though, in the American hardcourt swing or the US Open Series swing, and the stats back that up as well. So it's going to be two players who are playing some really good tennis, and the head-to-head is 3-2 to Coco Gauff. There's not much in it, in all honesty, so we can discuss that in a little bit as well. But yeah, it's an intriguing matchup just because Sabalenka is a powerhouse. She's going to come out. She's going to play super aggressive. Coco Gauff has a bit more diversity to her game. She's very athletic, defensively very good and sound, and also she doesn't mind transitioning coming to the net, but she's also got a big serve herself. It's going to be intriguing. So let's get straight into it. What we're going to do is we're going to take a quick look at their route to the final for both players, and then very briefly discuss how they've looked, and then I'll go into the head-to-head, and then ultimately I will look at it from a technical and tactical standpoint, and ultimately give you guys my predictions. So let's get into it. Coco Gauff in the US Open, she's looked pretty good. She had to battle in the first round against Saigon in 3 sets. Andreeva, she won in straight sets. Mertens 3 sets as well. That was a battle. Same with Wozniacki. But she's battled well. And she said after those wins, and I think there has been a real shift in her mentality that, look, I'm showing that if I go to 3 sets, I still feel that I can win. I'm going to battle. No one's going to be able to beat me easily. I'm going to battle and battle and battle and battle. And you have to rip the victory away from me. Then she was very impressive against Ostapenko, winning in straight sets, including a bagel in that scoreline as well. Mukova as well. I mean, it was a really comprehensive victory for Coco Gauff there as well. Not quite as one-sided as the Ostapenko win, but one-sided nonetheless. Mukova showed some flashes, and of course, she was a Roland Garros finalist from this year, so they had that in common, both being in Roland Garros finals and both losing to Iga Swiatek in them. For Sabalenka, her route's been pretty good. Zanevska, straight set victory. Same with Burrage, same with Burrell, same with Kasatkina, same with Zheng. The only match that she's lost a set was against Madison Keys, which was a crazy match, one of the matches of the year. Keys won the first set 6-love, bageled Sabalenka, and then second and third sets, tiebreakers, and Sabalenka took both of them. I mean, absolutely crazy, honestly. Incredible match. And Sabalenka said after, I don't know how I won that match, but I just kept on playing and I somehow found a way to win. And that pretty much sums up her year in the sense that, again, like Coco Gauff, who's got this newfound confidence and stronger resolve and mentality, Sabalenka also has the same for sure. So head-to-head. The head-to-head is 3-2. And in terms of the matches that they played and what the scorelines have been, so they played a few different tournaments. They haven't played on grass, but they have played on the hard courts of Lexington. And Coco Gauff won that in 3 sets. Very tight, though, 7-6, 4-6, 6-4. And then in Ostrava in 2020, Sabalenka won, and she won 1-6-7-5-7-6. Rome on the clay, Coco Gauff won 7-5-6-3. And in Toronto last year, Coco Gauff won as well. Very tight again, 7-5-4-6-7-6 on hard court, of course. And Indian Wells this year, Sabalenka dismantled Coco Gauff 6-4, 6-love. So what I'm getting from this is if Sabalenka wins, it might be a relatively comfortable scoreline, but the matches that Gauff has won, yeah, I mean, even the straight set one was 7-5, 6-3. But look, 3 out of the 5 matches have gone to 3 sets. They've gone the distance, and they've been very, very tight. A few tiebreakers in there, 7-5, 6-4s. There's not been many comprehensive sets. 3 out of, 1, 2, 3. I mean, we're talking about 3 out of 11 sets were non 7-5, non 6-4, non 7-6 sets. So you would say, one-sided sets. The rest all very, very close. So I'm hoping we get the same, to be honest, in this match. So let's talk about it. I mean, do these matches have a massive bearing? I don't think so, because Coco Gauff, who played in Indian Wells earlier this year, is a different Coco Gauff to now. Forehand is firing a lot more. It's a lot more consistent. She's not breaking down as much on that side. Her serve as well. She's making more first serves and it's more potent. I think she's playing with a lot more confidence as well. And just generally speaking, her game seems a level above the Coco Gauff who was playing earlier in the year. She's also added Brad Gilbert to her team, who seems to be working wonders for her. So I'm really happy that she's managed to take her game to the next level at the moment. For Sabalenka, I mean, you can say she's probably the same player she was in that Indian Wells victory. So the question is, how much has Coco Gauff closed the gap since that match? Which will be intriguing. It's going to be very humid conditions. I think the roof might be on as well. That probably suits both players with their serving, that is, because don't have to worry about outside conditions. There's still conditions. So serving should be easier in that instance. How does it play out? What do we need to look out for tactically and technically? What might occur? Well, both players have very big first serves. So the first serve is going to be key for if either player wants to get 3 points. Coco Gauff is a more natural returner from what I've seen. She's going to have to try and soak up the Sabalenka pressure and pace. And I'm sure she'll try to do that and will have some success. For Sabalenka, her returning is much improved. I imagine she's going to try and really attack the second serve of Coco Gauff, and she does that against nearly all players, Sabalenka, and she will have some success there as well, because Coco Gauff's second serve isn't massive. And the first serve, though, it'll be intriguing. I think she might have to block some returns back into play and play that a bit smarter rather than just going hammer and tongs at the returns, because she's probably not going to make a lot if Coco Gauff is hitting her spots, that is, as well. From the back of the court, it's an interesting one because backhand to backhand, Coco Gauff has one of the best backhands on the WTA Tour. Sabalenka's is actually, in my opinion, more reliable than her own forehand. Her forehand can be more dangerous. I feel like she can hit a lot more winners off that side. And she has adopted a bit more topspin in some of her ground strokes as well. Higher topspin, same speed, just giving herself a bit more margin, which is impressive as well. And she's clearly realized that she needs to play different styles depending on the opponent, etc. But yeah, I mean, I was impressed with that for sure. I also think that those backhand to backhand exchanges or ad court exchanges, I think Gauff has an incredible backhand down the line, and so does Sabalenka. They both do. That could be a really key factor in this match. Who's able to execute the backhand to backhand or the ad court exchanges better? Who can manage those better? Who can go line first, but go line effectively without making errors? It's going to be intriguing. It's going to be really, really intriguing. I'm looking forward to it. I think both players will try and transition and come forward as well, especially Coco Gauff. I've liked that about her game. I think she needs to do one very important thing if she wants to have a chance of winning this match, and that is putting Sabalenka on the back foot. Sabalenka doesn't like defending. She is not top 5 when it comes to the defenders on tour, I would say, either. And I just think Coco Gauff is so good at being able to defend herself, and she knows that there's going to be an onslaught from Sabalenka. So there's going to be a periods where she's going to have to, just deal with it really, Coco Gauff, and try and manage the situation and try and make sure that Sabalenka doesn't find massive rhythm. But similarly, I think, yeah, I think Coco with the forehand to forehand, she might have trouble in that exchange. So I think she needs to go line pretty early there, because when she goes line with her forehand, most likely the opponent is going to go backhand cross, and then she can get into that exchange and try and see what she can do. But it's going to be key. I think she needs to soak up that Sabalenka serve as well, and she will do. She won't be reckless. She'll try and then go block returns deep down the middle, etc., etc. And yeah, look, I mean, I'm very much looking forward to seeing how this one plays out. I think, Gauff needs to be a bit more adventurous. She can't win one way, I don't think, against Sabalenka, because Sabalenka will just hit you off the court. So let's see what Gauff comes up with. I'm intrigued. I've been very impressed with her so far at the US Open. I think she's looked good. She's looked confident. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it big time. That's for sure. Okay, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Remember to that like button. Do subscribe if you're new, and do the rating or if you're listening on a podcast platform. My prediction is going to be Coco Gauff. I'm going to stick with it. Coco Gauff in 3 sets. Thank you very much, guys. See you later.